Titus Welliver made a name for himself as Harry Bosch, but his antagonist role in the beloved legal drama The Good Wife arguably deserves more acclaim. Having assumed the role of the Los Angeles detective over a decade ago in 2014, Welliver has starred in not only all 9 seasons of Bosch, but its spin-off series, Bosch, Legacy and Ballard. Police procedural series like Bosch have been a cornerstone of television for years, as have legal dramas. Starring Juliana Margulies as Alicia Florrick, a stay-at-home mom who reassumes her law career following the imprisonment of her state's attorney husband, The Good Wife premiered in 2009 and ran for 7 seasons to critical acclaim. As Alicia tries to re-establish herself as a lawyer, she faces opposition in all areas of her life, from those she goes up against in court to co-workers at her own law firm. Then there are those who are hell-bent on destroying her family life and reputation, and that's where Welliver's villainous good wife character comes in. Titus Welliver played State's Attorney Glenn Childs in The Good Wife. Childs leaked Peter Florrick's sex tape. Introduced in the pilot episode, Titus Welliver's Glenn Childs is the first-ever antagonist in The Good Wife. The entire show is kicked off with a sex scandal surrounding Illinois State's Attorney Peter Florrick, Chris Nuth, husband of Alicia, when he's accused of using state funds to hire sex workers. A sex tape of Peter and sex worker Amber Madison, Molly Slinger, was leaked, and the culprit was none other than Glenn Childs, Peter's opposition. Disgraced, Peter is forced to resign and is jailed for his crimes, and Childs assumes his role as state's attorney. Childs may be on the right side of the law, but that's in job title only. He's one of the most ruthless characters on the show, and in his quest for power, Childs doesn't care who he destroys. In the case of the Florricks, he practically takes pleasure in it, whereas Welliver was wasted in shows like Suits, where he only appeared in a few episodes. He's a major player in The Good Wife's first 2 seasons. In addition to the political storylines, Childs also factors into Alicia's cases, as the state's attorney frequently goes up against her law firm, Stern, Lockhart and Gardner. Why Titus Welliver is even better as a villain than a hero. Glenn Childs is one of The Good Wife's most captivating villains. Titus Welliver as Glenn Childs yelling at Juliana Margulies as Alicia Florrick in The Good Wife, 2. Welliver clearly has a blast playing the titular antihero of the Bosch universe, so any time he gets to go full-blown villain is always a thrill to watch. It's also more fun. Sure, it's great watching Bosch bend, or flat-out break, the law to get the job done, but it's all in the name of justice, and we're rooting for him the whole time. On the other hand, Welliver's villain characters, whether it's Glenn Childs or Jimmy O'Fallon in Sons of Anarchy, are so slimy and conniving that the audience is itching to have justice served against them. That's what makes it so delightfully vexing that we still can't help but be charmed by Welliver's charismatic performances. There are precious few innocents in the worlds of Welliver's villains, and in the case of Glenn Childs, there were times I found myself cheering as he viciously moved against the odious Peter Florrick. Peter is a terrible person who presents himself as a good guy and believes that himself. Childs is a terrible person who presents himself as a good guy but knows he's a terrible person, and in a twisted way, that makes him more likable. Playing these layered villains is where Welliver truly shines. Titus Welliver needs to be in more legal dramas. He's done the police procedural thing. Titus Welliver as Glenn Childs looking angry at a woman in an office in The Good Wife, 2. As Welliver has proven with both Bosch and Bosch, Legacy, he has the acting chops and star power to anchor a long-running series. But with Bosch taking on a much smaller role in Ballard, it appears that the actor is taking his foot off the gas when it comes to playing his most famous character. This isn't a bad thing because it means Welliver can branch out from the police procedural genre he's dominated for so many years, and a legal drama is the perfect thing to follow that up with. The Good Wife and Suits are 2 prime examples of how, when done right and able to attract an audience, legal dramas can be excellent shows that run for many seasons.